y'all have? Is there any drama with? I'm sorry if I bring this up. Is there any drama with prom singing?
Oh gosh, don't even start.
Yes.
Yes. Low key.
Is there a lot of drama?
I'm not into drama, but I've heard some people apparently.
What's up, Christian? How are you?
That I know
Good. How
about.
about you? Yeah, there's some bad stuff.
Yeah, like today, someone texted someone in my group and was like, "I'm in your group," and they're like,
No,
"Alright."
we're not.
Was this prom?
Whoa, we're saying trauma drama. I just made that up. I don't even know if that's a
I like it though.
trauma drama.
I like
Hey,
it.
we just made that up.
You clearly never been to an ice
I've been
cream
yeasting today. I'm telling you what right now. I've been yeasting.
You don't like walking into this class hearing that.
Coach Jay, what does an ice cream truck sound like? Like the music.
That sounds like circus. That's circus music.
No,
Coach.
no, no. This
That's
is what it
circus
sounds
music.
like.
That's it.
Okay,
that was literally what you were doing.
I was
earlier.
literally
You were
doing
not
that.
doing that.
There was an ice cream truck.
But impressive.
There was an ice cream truck around my neighborhood that went around like good 10 times. It was like freezing cold, and I just hear and I'm doing my homework.
I love
But
ice
it's like
cream.
at a higher octave. Yeah, because like it sounds like you yeah.
Oh, y'all are crazy.
And then you took me to Kroger to see the hot guy. Yes, I missed him.
All right, hey, do this. Get down the golden nugget as we get started today.
With
Okay,
what?
wait, I need to go back. You back.
Just oh yeah, I'm sorry. The blank back sheet. Oh, the other class roasted me.
For the not having an extra sheet?
They roasted me.
It's the same thing, but it's
Wait, for the sheet? Like, you
Yes.
didn't have the sheet?
They're worse than you. Y'all. That's hard. Y'all Grace in the class, and they're still worse.
Whoa.
Grace!
He really just
Here.
threw shade at you and you did not hear.
No, I heard. No, it's okay. Go, Shay. I'm praying to God tonight. And your name's coming out.
Oh.
And they'll be like, God, there's this teacher.
Like, that was
That's
the best
alright.
of my
The
life.
other,
Honestly.
the other seventh period class is telling me like
I
they're actually coming up with reasons why I should be in this like the teacher's weird thing or whatever.
I
They're like
also
giving me
my
negative
backpack
votes.
and took out
They're like trying to campaign for my
I feel like
wisdom.
it's like
They're trying to campaign.
so part of my house after school.
Charles.
Okay, hey, as we get started, hey, let's do this. Let me have your
Charles.
attention.
Charles, make me big, dude.
Okay.
Charles.
Alright, quiet. Let's go. Here we go. Today, I want to give you some time to work on the project, but that means we gotta go. Okay, I've got a lot to get to in a very short period of time. Here's what I need from you. You could go ahead and just write down the golden nugget for me. We're gonna do two things at once, if that's okay. And the two things I want to do is number one, I want you to first get down what's behind me. But the second thing I need from you is we're going to, just for some time for this, I'd like to have some prayer requests. So as we're navigating the golden nugget, we've already talked over everything behind me, but basically it just kind of puts everything in one place in one area. So hopefully this, we may address it, go through some stuff, but while we're writing that down and while you're writing it down, we'll give some time just to kind of go through some prayer requests that are there. Okay? All right? Kristen, you got one?
Everybody going on mission trips over spring break and traveling.
Just so I know, who's going on a mission trip? In here? Cool. Where are you guys going?
7 Bridges.
7 Bridges. Excellent. That's awesome. And then I'm just going to pray for 7 Bridges specifically for this class. Anyone else that I didn't see? Cool beans. Anything else we can pray for? Grace, come on.
I'm getting my wisdom teeth out on Friday.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna give him the check.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's intense. I know. But it's actually probably a good time because you have time to recover.
Yeah, I'm just scared because it's all 4 and they're not giving me, what is it, general anesthesia? I'm gonna be like awake for it.
You'll have a laughing gas.
I
Right?
have laughing gas, but like it doesn't put me to sleep.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's still fine. It'll still be good.
Yeah. Wait, you do? Because like last time I had local
I woke up
anesthesia,
and I was like,
after my surgery,
what's up?
and like I like could feel that.
Oh man.
It's like I don't know.
They know, like, I wish I could, like, give it to some
We'll pray for you, Grace, on that.
You know, that make them, like, so hot.
Alright, anything anything else we can pray for?
Well, it might be. I get the notes.
How many?
Because like I'm not.
What's that?
I was like, I get the notes.
The notes, yeah, absolutely. Eric,
Pray
it
for
should be in
that.
the bottom left back there.
We'll pray
Avon?
for that.
We're starting a new show.
Yeah.
So just that it goes smoothly and that everyone still gets their work done for their actual classes.
100%.
Amen.
100%.
We need to see that.
Harry, do you have something?
Oh no, I'm just asking. Okay, so like, do we have this like right now? Cause like before I go do like the practice, like we don't write like that. You know, the hypothesis.
We didn't write it like that,
Not the right one.
That's not the right one.
but if you put it on that, that's okay.
Okay.
Because we'll just add to it.
Wait, that's not. Like,
So Harry, I want to make sure I'm on the same page with you.
oh, my bad.
You're good. I make sure I'm on the same page. So you're saying, do I have to write this down knowing that we've already written this down earlier? You don't. I think some people like it, and that's why I wanted to give it to you. They like that one place where you basically come and just say, all right, what are the highlights of this lesson? So if you like that, go ahead. If you don't, or if you feel like, man, I'm good on that, that's up to you. I mean, y'all are seniors. I'm going to let you do you, okay? So I'm good with that. Any other prayer requests? How many of you are still college undecided? Okay, yeah, I know there's a lot out there, and I know there's a lot entailing that. So we'll pray for just college decisions and colleges in general. Cool beans. Other thoughts? Prayer requests? Good stuff. Okay, hey, I'd like to do this. We'll wait till you finish that up. While we finish it up, then we'll pray right afterwards. Are there any questions over any of the stuff you see behind me? How did y'all feel on the lesson from 11.2?
Good.
Felt okay? Cool. I found something out pretty cool about some of it too to make life easier on how you plug it in your calculator. And we'll do that today. We'll look at that today. Something I discovered in the last class which would be beneficial to us. All right, so real quick, we'll do some tickets. I am going to pray here, but while you're writing down, we'll talk. Remind me a couple things. What the chi-squared goodness of fit versus chi-squared homogeneity. Talk to me about that. What is the difference between that? Claudia, go ahead with chi-squared goodness of fit. Could you talk through that?
That's when it's like one sample and you're testing like one variable, or you're testing one variable, one sample.
Good. Yeah. When that's sample, we're trying to do what with that sample? Where did that tick go there?
You're
What do we compare it to? Maybe.
you compare it to like the is everything like observed versus expected just for that one sample.
That's good. Yeah. How do I get expect? This is just for anybody else. Claudia did a good job. How do I get expected for goodness of fit?
You-
Jared?
You expected. Oh, you take the percentage out of the sum of the observed.
Good. And then we multiply that by.
By
So we multiply n, which is the sample size,
yeah.
by my proportion, right? And Claudia, the question I was asking her was this idea of we compare the sample to my claim, right? Sample to claim. Y'all tracking? All right, what about homogeneity? Chi-squared homogeneity? Kristen, what's the difference between that and goodness of fit?
The homogeneity one has
Two or more, yeah, two or more samples, right? I love it. And when we do that, we're comparing still only one variable, but we have two or more samples that we compare to each other, right? Think about the Haribo, regular Haribo sugar, okay?
Terrible.
It's terrible.
yeah, it's terrible.
I like saying Haribo too. It's okay, cause you got it.
Haribo's not
Haribo.
It sounds like a bomb.
Haters, let's pray.
Let's pray.
Let's pray for the haters, coach. Coach,
I'm gonna write that down.
Let's pray.
Haters gonna hate. Third period.
Yeah.
AKA Grace, Ryan,
Charles.
What?
Jay, you always view me as a hater, but I'm always winning.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yikes.
You just said
All right, let's pray. Here we go. God, we say thank you for a beautiful day outside. We're grateful for spring. We're grateful for, well, let's just be real, God. We're grateful for spring break. We are all ready. I think all of us are ready and set, and we're excited about the traveling of whether we're going other places, even staying home or going on 7 bridges around the local Atlanta area. God, I just ask for a great time and rest as we come back and then finish off this last few weeks of senior year. God, we think of college decisions. Lord, be with those individuals that need to decide on that. And then also we know of Ivana, as she said about drama and just everything that entails about just being busy with this production, making it really, really good, but then also balancing academics as well. I know that can sometimes be a challenge. Also, Lord, we know that Grace's wisdom teeth are going to be taken out on Friday. Lord, just help her with her recovery. And then also just with the whole procedure, just ask for wisdom for the doctors and that would not be too painful, God, through that process. God, we love you, and we thank you in your name, amen. Okay, this next part, we're going to buckle up. So we're going to buckle up. I don't know how you buckle up, okay? Buckle up. We're going to go very fast through this, okay? I want to go fast so that the last about 15 minutes you can meet with your group, okay? Let me give you some good news. Let me give you the first news. The homework 11.2 is due tonight by midnight. I recognize that I could push it to block day, but I want you to have block day to review, okay? So while I am going to make sure that we do 11.2 by tonight, the good news is the T-test that I told you about that was due this week, I'm going to move towards the end of spring break, okay?
Wait.
So if
I'm not even want to work or
here's what I would say to that, okay? If you want to, we'll make it due like the Tuesday or Wednesday of spring break, the week after spring break. I'm sorry, the week after spring break. Y'all with me?
Yes.
Some of you are like freaking out, okay? I'm expecting you to take it to the beach, is what I'm expecting, all right? The second thing, I already said the second thing, so that's it, those two things. Questions, thoughts? All right, so buckle up. Here we go. Take out your calculator. We're going to do something a little bit different. Big picture. All right, I'm going to kind of take a little bit of control today over this just so we can move quicker through this. Just a heads up, okay? Chi-squared, independence. I like to call it chi-squared. You could say one or the other. This is our third test. This is 11.2, day 2. This is our last new lesson, y'all. I'm telling you, I love it. So chi-squared independence, or you could say chi-squared association, okay? Either way, chi-squared independence or chi-squared association.
I like to say.
All right,
Not an exclamation point after that.
yes, okay?
What?
All right, questions on that?
Wait, so what is that exactly?
Chi-squared independence, chi-squared association. This is our final test. Now, what's the difference between the two? This is important, okay? Chi-squared homogeneity had 2 samples, 1 variable. The good news is the next test is the same exact process, same thing. We're doing the same exact thing. The only difference, 2 variables, 1 sample, okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we say, is there an association? So what we're going to look at is the activity that we're going to do is this, and this, I'm realizing I'm podcasting on what I just put down. Probably can. I'm just realized that. As we go towards it, though, we're going to go into our calculator, and specifically we're going to look at do males and females, is there association between English and math preference between males and females, okay? Now today we're not going to do an observation. We're just going to take random data that we have, and we're just going to do it together, okay? For sake of time and to be able to go through it pretty quickly, okay? So let's say we observed around GAC and found a random sample of 114 students, 50 being male, 49 being male, 65 being female, and of those, we found the preference between math and English. So the question is there an association, chi-squared test of association, between English and math and males and females, okay? Now question, what is the sample that we have taken? How many samples have we taken?
1.
We've taken 1. Good, Jared. How many variables do I have, Jared?
2.
I have 2. Y'all track that?
Yes.
2. What are the 2 variables? Avon?
Gender and subject.
Good. Gender and subject. Good. Did I get you one earlier? Okay, cool. I'm getting that. Feeling it. All right, so that's how we would go for the observed, okay? That's the observed. Now the expected, it's nice if finding the expected is the same thing, okay? Now, we could do this by hand, right? What do we fill in first? Perfect. Do all the totals first, right? Everything stays the same from observed to expected. Now, if I was finding that first column, or first females that say English is their preference. How would I find that, Ryan? Total of the table. Good, good. And you could do that. Is everyone good on that? Gucci on that? Hey, I want to show you something on your calculator, though. This is really, really helpful, okay? I found this out yesterday, and I remembered it from last year, and I was like, I think this is true, and I don't know why this came to me. Go to second x to the negative first, okay? And within our edit button, y'all remember this from yesterday? We're going to plug this data in. So we're just going to go to edit on just A, okay? Just A. Now, what type of blank by blank are we using? It's 2 by 2 because the totals we don't have to find. Cool? You don't have to find the totals. So just the observed that's there. And however you see it here is what we'll put down. So 43. So this is just the observed. 22, 21, and 28. Okay? All right, so this is the observed. What did we put in B yesterday?
The
Expected. We actually don't have to do it. I didn't know. I don't know why I didn't click or why that didn't click, but it actually does it for you. Okay? So just do A. Leave B. Don't even do anything with B. Just A. Is everyone tracking? Go ahead to Stat, Tests, and we're going to go down to chi-square test and still keep A and B there. B we did not do anything with, right? What's cool about this is once we go down and say, okay, we want to draw this out, it actually calculates the observed or the expected for you. So when I go to draw, right over here, did y'all get something that looks similar?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it so steep, you think? What's the degrees of freedom? Oh, this is good.
one.
Yeah, so it'd be, yeah, because it's 2 by 2. So that would be like 2 minus 1 times 2 minus 1, which would be just the degrees of freedom of 1. That's why this thing's so steep. Y'all got me? That's why it's like that way. But the chi-squared test statistic is 6.16 with the p-value of 0.01. Did we put the expected in? No. Now, here's what's cool. If they ever ask for the expected, go back to second, x to the negative first, and then I want you to go over to B. Now, you didn't put anything in for B, right? When you press enter, though, that is your expected.
Amen.
Isn't that cool? It's a lot easier than trying to have to do it by hand. Now, it's good. You're going to need to know how to do it by hand just in case on a multiple choice. But if you ever see something where you're doing an FRQ, this would actually be what your expected would be, and it would calculate it for you, okay?
How does it do that?
I guess because of the 2 by 2, when you put it in, it automatically does row times column divided by total, which is kind of nice. It's really nice. So you only need to put, it might be a good note here in your notes, just say put observed in for A. That's all I need to do, and then just know what test I go to. Chi-squared test. Okay? Good stuff. All right, is everyone on the same page with me on this?
Yeah.
We're cool? All right, here's what I want you to do. Well, first off, let me talk over the first part, and then I'm going to have you do the rest of it, okay? Hypothesis. Any thoughts? Again, we're talking about independence, right? What would be the null hypothesis that's there? Fiona, do you know? It's a little different, I know.
So there is significant evidence that there's an association between gender preferences.
I like that. So the significance will come in the conclusion if we have that, right?
There is
So-
an association.
That we would say there is no association. Because what's our alternative? Yeah, so we'd say that there is no association. There's no association between gender and subject preference. I like that. Good. Subject preference. Preference, if I can spell. All right, good. What is the alternative?
There is an association
There-
between gender and sexual preference.
Good. There is an association. Very good. That's good.
When
Ryan.
you're doing like the hypothesis, when we take the they gonna like expect us to use the same words like for the other Kai test? It was like, is it true or not true? And like some of us say like false. Are they gonna expect us to like say
No,
true or like association?
those little words, no, it's not. Now, as far as stating the null and the alternative, yes, obviously, right? And making sure, like, I'm not going to say here that there is no difference between this and this, right? Make sure if it's a chi-square test of association, right? Because we have, again, one sample, two variables, that we identify that as there is no association between gender and subject preference. And then alternative would be that there is an association, right? It's good. Hannah?
Last night I was like reading the summary in the book, and it said for conditions you had to do the 10%, but like we haven't been doing that.
Yeah.
So do we do the 10% or not?
From the rubrics that I've seen, no.
Okay.
Now, could it be that you get on there and all of a sudden from the rubric something comes up on this that's like, oh man, you didn't put it, so you're going to drop down to a 3 instead of a 4 or whatever it may be for that. Could it happen? I mean, there's stuff that could happen. I mean, because I don't see the rubric right beforehand or anything. But I would say that for the conditions, just keep it the 2 that we've been doing for chi-squared, right?
Okay.
For all the other tests, 2 sample t-test, 2 proportion z-test or intervals, go ahead and show all 3. Is that cool? Cool stuff. All right, here's what I want y'all to do on this. Go ahead and fill in the plan, do, and conclude, okay? By the way, same exact thing, cool? Same thing. You've already got the p-value, got your test statistic. Go ahead and fill in those few values. Once you're done, we'll do the golden nugget, and then the rest of the time is yours, okay? All right, go right ahead. See if we can do this here.
Greater than or equal to 5. So we would say 21.5 is greater than 5. That big one.
Make sure you put the lowest.
Bless you.
It's not going down.
They break it.
Break it off and it's actually
Okay, alright. You know better.
Did y'all get the lowest expected? What was
Yeah.
the lowest?
21.55. That's a couple of years.
One of my like we use influencers. Should I go back in my
Not acceptable.
Good. Tomorrow I'm just gonna decorate my folder. Should we write a paper? No, like it's due.
So for do, what do we have to put?
The
And 6 and 7, and you go set the papers.
observe
I don't care what that's today in class. Is that? I'm pretty sure.
So 43 minus 36.5 over the expected or just
observe not as expected.
over expected? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Did you say you smell like
Have
pie?
the thing, you know,
You definitely just said you smell
the our own
like pie. You guess.
Which means metabolic.
I'll look for it. Like I'm like pretty sure.
I wrote my parody about a dumb blonde. She thinks I'm a dumb blonde. She should be dumb.
Or you know we got you here.
My dad was first. No, it is.
And here's the flu and then the
Oh,
My dad likes
What?
writes,
Very
like, so
rare.
like to like write for like a living. So.
and we're only glad that he's here with us now. Could have lost him.
It's always gonna be rich. Oh God, it's like that.
Kurt, you gonna-
Before you look up here, go ahead and, well, you can. You can look up here. If you get stuck on a part, let me know.
Change a ton. So it's like so easy.
Yeah, you're gonna get in the next one, you know. You're gonna get in the next wave, you know.
Well, actually,
Like,
drama cartoon.
Just join drama class.
Right here, these two.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
It's easy, right? Just watch it this way.
Jump.
It's a video, right? That's how it's supposed to be.
Traditionally, I do that.
What'd you get?
What?
How many people are there in the
As
class?
long as you say, hey, this is how you show word on it.
I don't know, a lot.
Just to show the word.
There are half us like many like this.
Big sheet.
Well,
Big sheet.
If you think about it, most of the people
Yes.
in Les Mis were in a drama class.
still a lot of people not in there, though.
Yeah.
You don't, you don't have to clear it. So once you put A in, it only, when it says A and B and it goes observed and expected,
Yeah.
I didn't know this, it actually only
So
takes
Ivana,
A.
Yeah, but like,
So,
if I already.
Coffee's acting career is up.
Like,
It
So,
is.
as a trainee,
He joked
for
around
B,
about
no, it
joining.
won't.
okay,
It won't. So it just, it overrides it.
okay.
So it takes it, finds the expected and puts that in for B.
Hey, coach.
we can
Yes,
this
sir.
next one then?
Okay, so like, you know, okay, so
She's letting a few people.
well, let's say like the class is more than alpha level, and
I'm gonna come in.
how come this and
Need that one last time.
and like did you say like the biggest like the gap recipes that contribute to the high school team?
You rock. Thank you so much.
Boys
You're
are
exactly
great.
right. I forgot that.
But-
Okay. That's 2 tickets right there. That's
Woo!
What do you forget?
Bro, I'm on fire.
Speaking?
I'm on fire.
The rookie.
That's good. That's good.
You're gonna get tickets that matches your color, you know?
Oh, okay.
And which one was it here?
What?
What one was it? The one that contributed most?
Yeah, I think that's like contribute move most to the high school.
Which one was it? Like,
No, I'm just saying general.
yeah. So when you look at the observed and expected, could you tell me which one was furthest away?
I think probably
It's definitely not male math.
no, it's just
Do we have to do
Yeah,
that?
Yeah, no,
How's it not math?
It's over here. A lot of times it doesn't require you, but they'll have a secondary question that says which one, what contributed most to the chi-square value, and you would just say that the one that's furthest away from
no math.
the observed. Which one would be the highest?
No math.
Female English. Female English
In male English.
and male math.
They're all 6.5
Oh
away.
yeah.
No, female,
No,
female
not
math.
As you're writing this, talk amongst each other. If you're confused on something, let me know. Okay? Are we okay on this? We're good?
They're all, Coach, they're all 6.5 away from each other, so I guess they all play a role.
Oh, so
No,
you all
wait,
did?
28 minus 22.5.
It takes like 5
It's
seconds.
28.5
No, no,
minus
no.
22.
Oh yeah, they're all the same.
They're all the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we could just say all were similar went and contributed to the chi-square statistic.
But it's not all of them. It's not like
Huh?
I was like
There's 36.5.
texting.
They're all probably the ones.
no English is 27.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they're all.
You
Wait.
good, Ryan?
Carly texted me and was like, hey, can I come to your house too? And like, just let me know
Y'all, we are about ready to go through the last golden nugget.
about that.
I wanna see who I.
What?
I almost cried. I'm an emotional guy.
It's our last golden nugget. Your favorite class.
It's $10.
I don't know, how do you make yourself cry?
I was using
You gotta think about something really, really sad.
I don't want to do that.
I know, it sucks. You're
No.
on stage and you have to cry, it sucks.
Yeah.
So do we just say that you could try?
Yeah, but I was
You like made it.
and I provided.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll contribute. All right, hey, look up here real quick. All right, look up here. Make sure you're good.
Oh, shush.
Make sure you're good. Here we go. Hey, chapter 11. Okay? Chapter 11 is not a lot. Let me make sure I give you a quick thing. It's not a lot. Block day, we're going to go over different things. Hey, what tests do we use? We're going to do multiple choice. That's there. We're going to go through some stuff together. The big thing is identifying the 3 types of tests. That's really the big thing. The number one thing people have struggled with on chapter 11, identifying the type of test that's there. Okay? Last golden nugget. I'm really emotional. This is making me feel. How many of you are excited about this, that this is the last golden nugget? Anybody excited? Yeah, haters gonna hate.
No, I'm excited
we're stepping up to a new level where we're prepared enough to take the.
We're old enough
national
now.
team.
We're old enough now.
know.
Coach, don't give her a ticket for that.
She roasts on a daily basis.
She got a ticket
She got a ticket. Ready
for saying
For
Whoa,
literally
she
saying
wanted you to cry
Saying
first, and now she made it all.
Yes.
I know.
First
Oh,
of all,
cry,
I'm
now you
happy
have
we
ticket.
can
You
go.
really just got
She
manipulated.
got a ticket.
You just
Ah,
allowed
we
your
can
number
do
one
this now.
bully to get
Yeah.
a ticket.
You allowed her to get in your emotions.
That's the worst thing I've seen all day.
And this is just the last one here, last one. I'm gonna miss you all. I'm gonna really miss y'all.
Coach Jay, it's
Coach,
March.
We'll come in like Matt will.
Okay, but imagine
Yeah,
how
we'll-
these
It's
teams.
coming like that.
Yeah. Let's
Let's
pop
say
it.
you're really
Most of the juniors. R.I.P. R.I.P.
Why?
Because going from our grade to their grade.
Y'all I don't know juniors, but y'all have been awesome. Y'all have been awesome. Do I dare say the best team in class? I think so.
I mean,
No?
what is that, like 3 senior classes?
I've seen the
5?
rest of the
Jeez.
4 or 5? Okay, hey, just the chi-squared golf. Chi-squared golf. What do we know about that? What are the details on that? Good, Eric. 1 sample, 1 variable.
Yeah.
Here you have a claim. Okay, you have a claim here. Homogeneity. Someone other than Eric, tell me.
Sample 1 variable.
Yeah, 2 sample, 1 variable. Here we go. 2 samples, 1 variable.
Wow, I cannot spell association.
I'm struggling to.
Okay. And association.
1 sample.
You know? Good. 1 sample, 2 variables. If someone, what's another name for chi-squared association? Test of association? Independence. Yeah, that's exactly right. We remember that, right? Chi-squared test of independence. Good. Charles, give us a good word for the day.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Just open up the floor. Give us some truth.
Good word. Friends end with ends.
Friends, what?
End with ends.
Bro, what?
No, it's not. That's really
Friends
impressive.
end with ends.
That means friendships end. Not mine.
End, like how you spell friend, ends with end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't understand what's happening.
It's just Charles being Charles.
Friends end.
Yeah.
Relationships
I know what he's trying to get at, but.
I mean, all got back,
Crazy.
but
Y'all see how many tickets that I have left now?
You should distribute it equally to all of us.
shower.
Wait, that doesn't make no sense.
Bro, that's
If everyone gets equally, it's not gonna change your grade.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, so.
Wait, what?
It said distribute equally. I said if you distribute.
Alright,
Jay,
hey,
what are we doing?
that right there
Everyone
is
said
the
nothing.
last golden nugget.
Yay!
I almost did it, but I like this shit.
like when you made that shot and then you fell.
Wow! She got all our
That's
tickets.
Biggest
not a
hater,
Take away
hater.
the tickets.
What team are you in? What team
We're
are
on
you
equal level with Grace.
None of them are in there yet.
in? What team are you in?
I'm not done.
Alright, here's what I need from you. Okay, hey, right now I've got time-wise, okay?
13 minutes.
Y'all have 13 minutes. I need you to get with your group. So I know we've kind of had some fun today, and I love that. But right now, this is a big deal in terms of understanding who needs to do what to set yourself up for Friday. I've helped you. I've taken away one responsibility. Felt really good.
Oh.
Don't know. Felt good. But you need to clean up your data. You need to clean up your data, okay? All right, go right ahead. Meet with your group. Touch base with them.
Charles is really sketchy
Go.
out right now.
Huh?